let's see my we got Mike Mack, we got Chadwick. We're going to be talking about old console games today. I still remember playing on a Sega with my older brother, and that was fun. I still say my favorite game was probably the Sonic one. I can't remember which one, but I remember playing some kind of Sonic game, dude, and it was a blast.
I remember playing Sonic when I was younger, and it's like you have to like go. It was such a blast from what I remember. Just going through, you have to spin. There's different things that it could do. There was like a few different things it could do from what I remember, and that's one of them was that it could like spin really fast. 2 was that it could jump up and down pretty high. 3, the Sonic the Hedgehog. It's like a hedgehog. It can also what else could it do? It could just it was consistently moving forward, this hedgehog on this old game where there were different things that it had to jump over or else it would get hurt, and it had to collect these rings. That was like the most important part, is collecting the rings, from what I remember. Is that correct? How did we play this game?
I remember that.
Can you talk about can you talk
game.
Can you talk about Sonic and tell me what you remember from it?
Yeah, I remember going through different missions and man, I wish I remembered it more. So I remember being 4 or something playing with my brother.
What other games did you play on your Sega Genesis?
I can't remember, honestly.
Just Sonic, right? That's all you remember? Me too, man. I didn't have it.
That's all I remember because I was such an infant back in the day.
I didn't actually.
I just remember Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic is all I really remember too, because I didn't have a Sega myself. I just remember playing on other people's Segas, and the game that everybody seemed anytime I ever saw a Sega, it seemed like it was mostly Sonic that was the game that people had. So. Yeah, let's talk about.
I still remember the GameCube. That one was my favorite system.
I was just about to jump into Nintendo 64, PS1 era, but yeah, if you want, let's.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah,
that's not that one.
Yeah, that sounds, because that came Nintendo 64 came before the GameCube. So, did you play a lot of games on the Nintendo 64 at all?
No, none of my friends had that one. We had a Sega growing up.
Mm-hmm. What about a PS1?
Oh, we had a PS1, yes. Crash Bandicoot, I never played on that.
I remember playing that. I think I played that on the Nintendo, but yeah.
Some racing game we played too. I think that was really all I remember.
Yeah, so
PS1 was so long ago.
For me, PS1, I didn't have a PS1, but I remember playing games on it. And the one game that I specifically remember playing a lot of was Tony Hawk Skateboard. And that was one.
Oh! I did have that game. I remember that one now.
Yes. I remember that.
I had that for the PS1.
I remember that one, and also there was another one. It was a car game. It was called Metal. It was something Metal. It was a game called something Metal, actually.
Oh, Metal, where you go around killing each other?
Yeah, you have to kill the different cars, and each car has special weapons.
Yeah, I remember playing that game with my brother.
And you can hit the button. There's little secrets that you had to know. If you hit the button left up, it would shoot out the special power, and you had to know the secret powers kind of to be able to use them. And that's what that game was cool at the time.
I remember we used to have a cheat code book.
Yep. That's right. There's different. That's what was cool about the game, is just being able to use all the different cheats in it. Yeah, you just drove around in these cars and kind of basically attacked each other until the one car died. And certain cars would it was on a big map. It would be outside, just in the wilderness, or in these randomized maps choices where you would drive around and collect weapons. Like you could collect like certain rockets and certain like types of guns, and you could also collect health if your car was damaged by other cars. And
I remember that.
it was a pretty big map, so you weren't there were times where there was no fighting going on, or if you would run away from a fight you might get out because there was enough if you were smart about how you played. And so I played that game I think in the past like 2 or 3 years. I played it one time and it was kind of boring and sucked in my opinion. I used to enjoy it and I used to think it was the greatest game when I was playing it uh, at people's houses, and then here I am and playing it, looking back at it, it's like compared to the games that are out these days, playing that PS1 shooter game it's just like it's not as much fun, I can say.
Yeah, I was saying that newer kids that are growing up right now, they probably have no respect for the older games right now.
I was more of like the Nintendo 64 side. I played a lot of Super Smash Brothers, the original Super Smash, and Mario.
That was on there?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's basically like the best one of the best games on the Nintendo is Super Smash Brothers original, and then we have Mario Go Kart 64, which I played a decent amount of. Racing game, a car racing game, cartoon characters, well known Mario, Peach, Bowser, all of the different racers, and then you would race and you could collect different as you were racing you could collect different things and shoot them at each other to try to stop the racers in front of you from winning. And then there was Star Fox 64. I played some of that, I remember, on the Nintendo 64. And also oh, it was like a board game type game. It was Mario Party. I played a decent amount of that. I played all these different games, but it really comes back to Super Smash Brothers was the game. And I think that's where we're jumping in next. Is we're about to talk about GameCube games. So, do you play Super Smash on GameCube?
Oh yeah, we used to play that game all the time. Yeah, you never starting up the GameCube. It took 4 people to do it, but you never like you had to press like 2 buttons or something, and it make like a different sound.
No, the only game I ever played on the GameCube really
No,
was
when
that.
you turn on the GameCube.
I don't even know how you turn them on. I never owned one myself.
What, you never owned a GameCube or played on one?
I've played on one. Like I played lots of hours of Super Smash Brothers on a GameCube.
Ah, I wish somebody taught me that trick. Me and my buddies growing up, I remember Chris, my buddy Alex, me and my brother, whenever we would turn it on, because like, I still remember like the logo of the GameCube going on the TV screen, and I think it was like the R and L button and A, I think it was, if I remember right. If you were to click it, it would like make like a different noise, and it would make it into a different shape instead of a cube. But you had to click it at a certain time.
Oh, that's kind of a cool feat. That's kind of a cool little hack or whatever you want to call it. That's a yeah. No, I never heard about that. I'm glad you brought that up and shared that in this podcast because I'm sure some people listening could probably connect to that and remember that are listening.
I probably remember that whoever was listening.
Yep.
And by the way, I might have the letter wrong, guys. So I don't remember the letter. I just remember pressing like one of the trigger buttons. Or both of them, and then running pressing something else. Like,
what other games did you play on the GameCube?
Was it Rock Band on the GameCube, if I remember right?
Yes, that's what I played with some people. Was Rock Band a lot of stuff. I played
Rock Band a lot.
Decent amount of that.
We mainly just had Guitar Hero, I think, at the time.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I think Guitar Hero. I played more Guitar Hero than Rock Band or whatever. I never really played the Rock Band as much, but I did play it. But Guitar Hero was where it was at. I just remember. So I had an Xbox 360 and I played Guitar Hero mainly on that. And I mainly played with just my handheld controller rather than like a guitar controller. And it's not as good. The guitar controller, if you're good with the guitar controller, you can do a lot better than people who just use the hand controller. So let's go back to the GameCube era though, because 360 or Xbox 360 is a whole era after that. Let's go back to the GameCube. What was your favorite GameCube game?
Um, trying to think.
Or just name off some more that you played.
Number 5, I remember what I played. I remember it was Mario Land or Mario. I remember playing a Kirby game as well. I don't remember which one it's called. I wish I remembered more back in the past thing.
So the GameCube kind of came out at the same time that the PlayStation 2 came out, and also I think the regular Xbox came out. So like those three things. So did you play anything on the PS2 or Xbox One?
PS2, I remember. I played God of War on the PS2. Tony Hawk or something. I can't remember the number on it.
Grand Theft Auto?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I played that one.
On the PS2.
On the PS2, yeah.
Game.
Yeah, on the PS2.
I remember me and my brother, whenever we would get done, we would be like, let's go play some Rock Band.
Nice. I like that there was a Disney game.
I remember like there was this like weird other game where you destroyed asteroids. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
If you,
I can't remember the name of the game, but
it's on.
you were like in this weird circle, like spaceship or whatever, and you had like 2 players, or you could have 4, but it was just me and my brother that mainly played it, and trying to meet the online scores, and we were actually getting really good at it. I remember it's like destroying all the asteroids, and we were like trying to see how like what level we would get on. That game was a blast.
Okay, great. You just talked about shooting asteroids, and you brought up that game. I'm so glad you did, because now I'm going to bring us way back, even further back to arcade games, because those were really kind of, you know, like pinball, things like was it? What's the yellow character? He bites stuff. It's Pac-Man, and then there's Frogger, and then there's name some more asteroids. That's what I was thinking of, where you shoot the different asteroids as they're.
That's the game I'm thinking of. I had it on the PS2. I remember that game. That game was a blast.
Street Fighter, I'm thinking of. Street Fighter was one.
I think we had that one too.
Yeah. A lot of there's a lot of. Any other arcade games that I'm missing that were major arcade games that I'm missing off the top of my head?
Arcade games. So what I remember is, I remember it being like some deer hunting game.
Yeah, that's a bit more modern, where you shot it with a gun, like you shot it with like a plastic gun or something.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. For that.
Yeah, I remember DDR. I think it was Dance Dance Revolution.
Oh, you played that?
Yeah,
I played.
I played.
Yeah, I've played that.
And
yeah.
it was also in arcades.
Yep. Well, you brought up the deer shooting game, and it made me think of the zombie shooting game that I liked even more. It was like a zombie killing.
I remember playing that.
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. It's like you had it was usually played with 2 people. Each person got like a plastic gun, and they had to like duck. The game was pretty basic, where your character could basically duck and hide behind things, and then it had to get up and shoot the zombies, and then duck again, and then to reload, you'd have to shoot off the screen. You would have to shoot your gun off the screen, and that would reload your gun. That game was fun.
You know, one thing I wish I played when I was younger was Doom.
What was it?
I can't remember what system that was on.
Say that again. What was it called?
You know how it came out Doom External?
No.
On Steam?
Are you spelling that D? How do you spell that? Doom?
Doom, D-O-M, and External, E-X-T-E-R-N-A-L, I think it's spelled.
Yeah, what's up with that one?
I remember it being like on Sega or the Atari. I can't remember which one. But then they brought back the game.
Well, we're at our 15 minutes, so if you're unable to remember that, that's just, I mean, unless you have, do you want to?
I just remember it being on like one of the older systems, and I wish I played it.
Are we missing anything?
Oh, you remember 0007?
No, I never really played that. What system are we talking about now?
0007, that was on the PS1, I think.
Nah, you want to talk about that one?
Or PS2, I could have that one wrong. I can't remember what system. I think it was a PS1, though. That was a first-person shooter.
Cool. Anything else we should add to this before we end this here that we're missing? We could we could do a whole other podcast, like a whole other day on this. I think we could spend a whole other 15 minutes on this topic.
I think to wrap it up.
Yeah.
You're saying next week probably will be mine and yours site.
Yeah, we're talking. Yeah, so I'll just mention it in the podcast. I might as well that we own pedaltothemetal.io. Me and American Mech, we're doing Pedal to the Metal podcast right now. Pedal to the Metal. Metal is an award medal that you won. Pedaltothemetal.io. We're gonna have that up in the next couple weeks, and it's gonna have some different merchandise on it that people will be able to purchase from American Mech's art, and I've kind of edited it and been able to put it on some products that we're going to have listed up, and we're looking forward to putting that up. We'll talk more about that in a future podcast. And I'm closing this out and just saying that real quick. Do you have anything else to add before I end this?
I still say that my favorite one that I saw on there was probably the coasters that you put your drinks on.
Yeah, so
in the middle.
That's
the dragon that I drew that you.
Yeah, let's talk about. We'll talk more about that in our next podcast. I'm going to end this one. Okay.
You want me to close this out?
Yeah, if you want to.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know how we do it. We always put the metal really hard. We all love you guys and girls. Senoritas, senores. We all appreciate you guys for listening in here. Have a great, wonderful day. Our next one, we'll probably not be talking, and maybe we'll talk about the newer systems. We'll see. That might be a whole other podcast.
Cool.
So we'll just talk about older ones, but we'll see. All right, ladies and gents. All y'all have a great night.
Excellent.